our live stream. I have a special lesson for us today that is related to the movie that we talked about yesterday on Instagram. We talked about the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon. And so that movie was very focused on forgiveness. She was trying to forgive herself and to make amends with herself and with other people. And so this is a lesson about forgiveness. Forgive me for my hair. Anyway, let me just pop up a little banner here for you. For those of you who don't know me, so I'm Jen at English with Jen. If you don't already follow my account and you're looking for a place to practice your English every week, then I suggest you follow this account because every week I cover different topics. And like I said, our topic today is forgiveness. And as you see here, I'm going to try something new. I want to give you like a little bit of homework each week because I think that that's kind of a fun thing to do. Hello to everyone who's joining. I see a bunch of people just popped on. So you see here at English with Jen 123 challenge. Now I've given you a challenge, and this is not for right now. This is for you who are watching the replay, for those of you who are here right now, but you can do this later on in the comments section and pin it, and then I can go back and take a look at it for you. But I have a nice little idiom for you. Take the high road, and a word: bitterness and closure. And the idea is that as your homework for this week, then here down below you can find several words and phrases that will be something that you can incorporate into something. Think about, have a moment to reflect, and every week I will try to add 2 or 3 different words for you to play with. So let me see who else here. I see 6 comments already. Hello to you, Yuki. Hello, Mohammed. You are sitting in a different location. Yes, I'm on Ibiza. This is a different location. Hi, Karina. Hello to you in Peru. And Samantha in Costa Rica. Hello, hello. I'm well, and I hope you are too. And I think that's it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comments. Well, let me make sure I'm not missing anyone because it said 6. Anyway, so this is going to be your homework. Don't worry about it right now. I will flash it on the screen several times. Maybe you can write a little note to yourself if you would like to kind of remember. Hey, Lorena, dear. Hello. Marcy, hello, dear. Marcia from Brazil. Hello. I can't hear you well. All right, maybe I will try to come closer. Thank you, Yuki, for the feedback. Other people, are you having problems with hearing me? Let me know. Ibiza's my dream. Yeah, I love being here. It's wonderful. I am pretty fine. Thank you. Hello, Leticia, darling. Hello, hello. Okay, so yes, so we're hopping into our lesson. For those of you who have just joined, I'm going to offer you a little homework challenge every week that you can write down the words, maybe right now or later on. I will pop them onto the screen. And then when you have a moment, you can take a look and you can either define the words later on once this is saved, or you can turn it into a little story, however you want to work it. Maybe if there's one in particular that is new for you, then you kind of use it in a sentence. So it's a good way to practice, your English. How often do you make live videos? So on YouTube, at least twice a week. I went live yesterday, today, and this week. I will go live tomorrow with Mike, my British friend, and we'll talk about some sort of fun news events that are going on. So fun stuff. Nothing heavy. We all have enough heavy. So Yuki, can you hear me better now? I hope that the sound has gotten better. Please give me a little heads up there. So let me hide this, and let's jump into our first poll question for today. And let me switch me over. Bloop. And let's see, let me find our image for today and a nice little warm up. I like to do this where we have a nice little warm up question at the beginning to kind of get into our topic of the week. Please let me know if you can see this okay. I have made everything on my screen much better. There was an issue with your file. Please try again later. Okay, so there's something strange with my image. I don't know what. And I tested it earlier. Everything was okay. So maybe we just have a little bit of an internet gap. And if this doesn't work, then I think it is. Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes, ta-da. Okay, so please let me know if you can see this. I can barely see it because I'm tiny now and your comments are huge, so I can actually read them. Hey, Alessio, hello, dear. So first question for the day, my first poll question for us, okay, to get us kind of worked into the whole lesson. So let's see. Do you think some actions, you can see it. Thank you for the heads up. Can see it. Can you hear me? Okay, Yuki, I got a thumbs up. Okay, good. So do you think that some actions are unforgivable? Like you just cannot forgive? Yes, no, or it depends on the context. Maybe it depends on the situation. What do you think? So what can you tell me? Yes, definitely. Some things are unforgivable. Okay. Everything's clear. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. Other opinions with our little warm-up question? Yes, some things are unforgivable. Yes, I do. There are limits. Okay. Okay. All right. C. So it depends on the context. So as our little warm-up question, just trying to get you into the spirit of all of this, I think I want to say that Michaela, hey, Brigitte, darling, and Marcia, do you say Marcia or Marcia? I think Marcia. I'm going to go with Marcia. So please let me know so I'm not messing up your name, dear. Depends. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure for myself. I would like to think that everything is somehow forgivable, but I'm not quite sure if that is the case. Okay, so that's our first little warm up. Let's move into some idioms. And we're going to work it because yesterday in our lesson with Mike, then I'm not going to do a story when I go live with Mike. So I am going to do a story today. And these are the idioms that are in our story. The first pronunciation. Oh, did I say Marcia or Marcia? So is it with a C or a sh sound? Please help me out. Okay, so let's see where we're off to. Let me pull up. We have idioms popped up so I get smaller, and let me grab those idioms for us. And these are going to be incorporated into a story later on this week. So yeah, so that will be a cool thing. And that's what I do here on YouTube. I offer a video every week. Correct. First, okay. Oops. Okay, hold on. It seems like I'm going to have a bit of a delay today with adding things, but no biggie, as long as it eventually works. So these idioms I will use in a shadowing exercise. For those of you who do not know what a shadowing exercise is, still an issue. Okay, let me get rid of this guy. And let's see. Hello, Michaela, dear. Hello, hello. So trying to pull up our idioms, and a shadowing exercise is when you watch a video, you listen to a video, and then you try to repeat what the person is saying. It helps to build confidence in your pronunciation. It helps to build confidence in speaking. A lot of times, a lot of us don't have the option of being able to speak the language. It's hard sometimes in these live streams to offer that. Shadowing technique is good. Yeah, important to learn idioms. Yes, definitely. Because we native speakers, we use them a lot. Ta-da, here we go. All right, so these are super tiny for me, so I will read them over here on my iPad because it's more important. Hello to you in Qatar. Hello, Q. Okay, so here we go. Here are idioms, and then afterwards, once we have matched all of these guys up, then we will go ahead and use them in a story. Hello, Gracie, dear. Pleasure to be part of this community. It's such a pleasure to have you as part of this community, all of you. Thank you guys for showing up regularly. It's wonderful to have familiar faces here, yeah, I'm always so grateful to have you on board. So thank you. All right. Idiom number one is to turn the other cheek. For those of you who don't know, these are your cheeks. This is your jaw. Jaw, and these are your cheeks. So to turn the other cheek. The second one is to, hold on, I'm going to make this bigger for myself here, is to extend, I think, a lending hand. No, to extend an olive branch, to extend an olive branch. And a branch is a part of a tree where the olive leaves grow and the olives grow. Never turn your other. I don't know what that means. Then water under the bridge and to take the high road. We're going to match these idioms up together with to offer peace or reconciliation. So when you offer peace and like everything is okay. B, to act with integrity or forgiveness, even when somebody did you wrong. C, past problems that are no longer considered important. We all have those things that felt like a bad problem a long time ago that today is kind of like, oh, why was I upset about that? Why did I care? And D, to respond to offense without retaliation. So wanting to get back at someone and showing grace instead. All right, these are pretty heavy definitions. Sorry about that. I should have read them a little bit better. So let's start trying to match them up. Number one, to turn the other cheek. 1D, aha, we have the same in Italian language. I'm going to try to say this. I'm going to kill it. I'm sorry. Porgi la altara guancia. Okay, so let's see. So Alessia saying one is D. So Leticia, you're saying one is A. Lorena, you're saying D. Yuki, you're saying D. Okay, so the correct answer is actually D. To turn the other cheek is D, to respond to offense without wanting to get back at someone and to show grace. So you just walk away. You're like, you turn the other cheek. I'm not going to let this affect me. Not at all. Okay, and Marcia or Marcia, I'm just going to put in here, and you could tell me, is it with a C or with a sh? I don't want to get your name wrong because that looks very rude. I don't mean to be rude. One is D, exactly. So number two, extend an olive branch. What does that mean, to extend an olive branch? With a C, Marcia. Okay, thank you. Marcia. So Miss Marcia, what do you say for number two, to extend an olive branch? Gracie, you're saying A. Lorena, you're saying A. Let's see what else we've got from any other guesses. And I love this. And I think actually, like, to turn the other cheek, it sounds very religious. Like you find that a lot in Christianity, just to go back to that. And so, yeah, so you say, it's better to turn the other cheek than to kind of to go after and look for revenge. Everybody's saying A. And you're correct. Okay. So to extend an olive branch, A, to offer peace and reconciliation. So I tried to offer him an olive branch and invited him to dinner as a way of using that. Do you say the same thing in your language with olive branch? Curious about that. So let's see. So 1 was D, 2 is A, 3, water under the bridge. What can you tell me about that? Water under the bridge. What on earth does that mean? What is water under the bridge? Exactly, Mohammed. 2 is A. So 1 is D, 2 is A, 3, water under the bridge. Lorena, you're going with C. So past problems that are no longer considered important. Yep, exactly. Hey, Mel's. Exactly. No, the second one was a new, okay. So the second one is a new idiom, to extend an olive branch. Okay. So yes, 1D, 2A, 3C, and last but not least, 4, to take the high road, which I really love. It's the hardest thing to do. Is B, to act with integrity and forgiveness even when wrong. This is usually those situations. I don't know what's going on in my hair. I'm sorry about that. These are usually the situations where it would be so easy to do the wrong thing, but you say instead that you take the high road. You don't try to get back at someone. I have a question. Absolutely, dear. Please offer, please let me know what your question is. I'm going to plug in my iPad so that it doesn't die on me. So yeah, what's your question? Those are our idioms that we will have now. I will read a story for us. And once Samantha's maybe asked her question, I guess she's typing it. And we will include these idioms now into a story. And in a couple of days, I will post a video here where I will read the story. I'll add some video to it, make it a little visual, and you can listen to it, repeat it, record yourself. Yeah. Oh, okay. My iPad did die without its cable. So, but here we're back in business. So I'm going to read a story. I'm going to scoot this back a little bit so that I have some room to be able to read. And if you like, maybe I will just leave the idioms up here for you so that you have the ability to kind of look at them if you want. And let's see, here is our story. All right. So Claudia and Jane hadn't spoken in months. They had a big fight over a misunderstanding at work. One day, Claudia decided to take the high road. Even though Jane had hurt her feelings, Claudia didn't want to stay angry. She sent Jane a short message to extend an olive branch. "Hey, I miss our friendship. Can we talk?" Jane was surprised but happy. She quickly replied, and they agreed to meet for coffee. At the cafe, Jane apologized. "I was wrong. I acted badly," she said. Claudia smiled and said, "Let's just call it water under the bridge." Later, someone made a rude comment about their past fight. Claudia could have said something back, but instead, she just turned the other cheek. That day, both women learned that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, but it does mean choosing peace over pride. So, how much of the story did you understand? What happened in the story? Any new words that kind of like, what is that word? That's kind of strange. Any thoughts? Samantha, I will read your question. And hello, Demuthu. Hello to you. How can we use idioms in English? Is good to know them, but you don't know how to use them in real life sentences. So I always recommend after this live stream is saved, any of the idioms that are new for you, just write them down and then let them sit for a day or two. Come back to them and make sure that you know what they mean again. And then all you got to do is just take a moment to write a sentence, put it in the comments with the idiom that's new for you, and I'll take a look at it. And I think that if you start practicing them like that, you can do it that way. Another idea would be to use an idiom in a sentence and ask ChatGPT, if what you wrote was correct. Okay, so two ways of doing that. I always encourage people, please practice anything that's new that you learned in a lesson. Write it in the comments. Not necessarily right now. You can also do that right now, but to wait a day. Let it sit for a second. It's really hard for me, so I'm thinking maybe for you too, to remember vocabulary, to remember idioms, to remember phrasal verbs. And this gives you a chance to review because the way we learn is really just reviewing things. So I've got 80% coworker misunderstanding. Exactly. I love the last sentence where the ladies chose peace over pride. So that you hurt my feelings, I'm going to hold it against you forever. I think that's a really nice ending. This is the last attitude I can take. I am very bad at forgiving, including myself. Oh, Yuki. Hopefully today we'll work through it a little bit. Yeah, it is difficult to learn new vocabulary. 100%, it's not impossible. And I also like to repeat vocab, idioms, and phrasal verbs in my lesson because I know how hard it is to remember things. So yeah, I also repeat things. One of them is to take the high road. I love that. I love to take the high road. It's hard. It's the hardest thing, but at the end of the day, it is the best thing to do. You always come out better. So 80%, 80%, 100%, 80%. Hello to you, Iradia. Hello, hello. All right. So, okay, then I'm going to read it once more, a little faster, and then we'll move on. We'll carry on, okay? So let's see. The story is about friendship and forgiveness. Two nice friends had a misunderstanding. One of them extends an olive branch to keep their friendship. Wonderful. Hello to you, Ali. Welcome. You're just in time to hear our story. The idioms that we have right here are mixed in with the story. Hard, but is possible. It's the better way. It is. The hard road is the better way to go, even if in the beginning it's usually the most painful, but it's the better one. Okay, so let me read the story again. I'm going to plop it here in front of me. Yuki, how are we on sound if I'm like this? Because I had it this way before, and I want you to be able to hear, so let me know if this still works for you. We're heading back to our story. Everybody get nice and cozy. Let's go. Claudia and Jane hadn't spoken in months. They had a big fight over a misunderstanding at work. One day, Claudia decided to take the high road, even though Jane had hurt her feelings. Claudia didn't want to stay angry. She sent Jane a short message to extend an olive branch. Hey, I miss our friendship. Can we talk? Jane was surprised but happy. She quickly replied, and they agreed to meet her for coffee. And they agreed to meet for coffee, not her. At the cafe, Jane apologized. I was wrong. I acted badly, she said. Claudia smiled and said, let's just call it water under the bridge. Later, someone made a rude comment about their past fight. Claudia could have said something back, but instead, she just turned the other cheek. That day, both women learned that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, but it does mean choosing peace over pride. All right, so that's it. But I have a couple comments here. So Gracie, darling, what do you say? We put attention to it. The relationship was more than the bad episode. Yeah. So sometimes we have this situation, right? Where one bad situation, you don't want to end the friendship just because of that. So I guess that was the case for these two ladies as well. Let me make that bigger again. And I have a question for us, a nice little brainstorming activity. And here it is. I cannot see that. So here it is. What are some situations that make forgiveness hard? Like pretty much everyone at the beginning in our poll question said that forgiving sometimes is impossible. So what are some situations that you find difficult or could be difficult to forgive? I have 10 situations here. I'm turning on our timer. Let's give us 3 minutes, or let's do 2 minutes. And then we can sort of kind of go through them together. I'm going to screenshot them and see how many you get on the list that I have here. So let's see, pull that up. And let me grab your comments here so I stay in tune with you. Hello, Hitoko, darling. I started using ChatGPT and love it. Isn't it the best? Okay. I love peace over pride. I do too. 90% now. Awesome. Yay, Marcia. Okay. So situations that are difficult to find forgiveness. Cheating, right? Cheating in a relationship. Absolutely. For me, out the door. Because robbing. Okay. Let's see if I have that one. I don't have that. But if someone steals from you, can we say that that's maybe someone betraying you? Because that I have on my list, but stealing from you, absolutely. Betrayal, deceive. Okay, so being lied to, great word for lie, to lie to someone, to deceive them. But what would happen if anything happens after that? Ooh, could she forgive again? That's an interesting follow-up question. Yeah, And I wonder if she's the one who accidentally does something wrong to her. Anyway, yeah, I think, for me, there's definitely a limit. If you 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're out. Oops, because I like to be right. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Oop, I have to scroll here a little bit. 1, love relationship. 2, with family members. A fight about money. Ooh, money is one that really gets people going, right? Bullying, envy. Okay, so let's see. Bullying can be lots of different things, right? So blaming someone for something that they didn't do, maybe. Can also be embarrassing someone or disrespecting someone in front of others or in general, I think. If people try to manipulate you, that might also be a reason that's difficult to forget. Let's see. I think also sometimes if someone hurts you and then they don't really admit it, they like try to gaslight you, a word we will learn, I think, later on. Yeah, I will pop it up now. Maybe we learn it now. So if somebody tries to pretend that you are crazy for something that you feel, that's gaslighting. That's when you try to, when somebody does that manipulative move. It's called gaslighting, and I will pop that up. So somebody gaslights you, makes you feel like you're crazy for feeling the way that you did, or you do. A lack of apology. Exactly. Someone doesn't admit it, and they don't even say they're sorry. That makes it sometimes difficult to forgive someone as well. Betrayal is very hard to forget. Trust is never regained. I 100% agree. Yeah, let's leave it at that. 100%. Let's see. It's hard, definitely. Okay, so we're going to move on to yet another brainstorming activity. Let me get rid of my gaslight here. And let's see, brainstorming activity number 2. And that is, what emotions do people feel? Oops, hold on. When they don't forgive. Okay, so what emotions do you think? So feelings inside that people feel when they choose, because I guess it is a choice in a way, to not forgive. What can you tell me? What feelings? Breaking trust. Yes, they break trust. So what kind of feelings? Yeah. And then I have a slide for us with some vocabulary words. So I'm curious to see if you get any of these vocabulary words for when someone chooses or doesn't, let's say, more neutrally. They can feel anger, sadness, absolutely. Anger, from my personal perspective, is when someone cheat on you is something, oops, let's see, sorry. That is something that cannot be that's not forgiven. Yes, for mine as well. Disappointment, resentment. Ooh, Gracie, darling, ding, ding, ding. You got one of my words, resentment. They feel pride. Interesting. Okay. Maybe they feel pride maybe sadness. They feel argumentative. Rancy. I'm not sure what that is. Mills, what does that word mean? I'm not sure what that is. Fault, they feel like guilty. Maybe guilty is the word. They feel at fault. They feel guilty that they don't forgive someone. Okay, cool. Awesome, guys. I'm going to pop up a slide now with some words, and 3 are going to be ones that we've not had so far. And there's one, resentment, that we've already had today. Furious and feeling. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me see, where have I got my vocabulary? Let me get rid of this. Oops, nope, not that. So this I'm still trying to lesson here. It's going to take a bit of time. So, all right. This is all over the place. Okay, remove from studio, and let me grab some vocabulary words. Disgust, bitterness. Another word, Lorena, ding, ding, ding. Rancor. Okay, so like anger, like really strong, very good word. Okay, now I see that. Bitterness is on our list. Resentment is on our list. Disgust, you can also feel definitely for not forgiving. I think this is it here. And let's hope that that's going to work. And I have this. Yeah. All right. All right, let me just pop this up here. Hold on one second. And I think that's a good one. Okay, there we go. Vocabulary. And let me get rid of our banner. Lots to do. Okay, so here are some vocabulary words for when we have moments where it's difficult to forgive someone. These might be some things that we feel. We might feel resentment, anxiety, and this word has an X in it, so anxiety. And so you don't really say anxiety. Powerlessness and bitterness. So these are going to be pretty easy. We'll go through them fast. You already have mentioned at least 2 or 3. Irritated, blaming. You might feel, what is the adjective of that? You might feel blamed. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, let's match these up. Let's see. Resentment, anxiety, powerlessness, and bitterness. Here are our definitions. Nervousness or tension. So like when all of your muscles are tight in the back of your neck and you need a massage, they are tense. You feel tension. So like when you have 2 cables and there's like this movement between them, that's tension. And you can feel that as well. You can feel tense. So nervousness or tension tied to the memory or person involved. Number 2, feeling stuck, like the past is still in control of your emotions. Number 3, lingering anger that festers and grows over time. I have a lot of strong vocabulary words here. So linger, if something lingers, it just doesn't go away. It hangs around, yeah? So you just can't let lingering anger is anger that just is always present somehow. And that festers, so it kind of grows and gets like even more aggressive in a way and grows over time. And 4, a sour outlook or cynicism that extends beyond the original hurt. I should have simplified these definitions. My apologies. Yes, a sour outlook is like a bad outlook, a negative outlook, or cynicism that extends beyond the original pain in this case, okay? So which one works best with A, with resentment? What can you tell me? Which one works best with A? Yes, emotions and anxiety, we are stuck here. Yes. When we get stuck in that land, that's not a good place to be, for sure. Okay? So what can you tell me? Which one works best with resentment? A is 3. Exactly. Okay, exactly. So resentment. A is 3. Lingering feeling that festers and grows over time. You feel feelings of resentment. How could they do this to me? Why is this happening to me? Wishing someone sort of ill will. Those are the kinds of things, the resentment. B, which one works best with B, can you tell me? With anxiety. Anxiety. Which one? So, Marcia, you're saying 3 as well for A, exactly. And now for B, what have we got? Anxiety. I think a lot of people today suffer from anxiety. I think social media causes a lot of anxiety in people in general. Yuki, you're saying B is 1, okay? As well, it is, yeah, okay. So Lorena, so everyone's saying that, exactly. So B, anxiety, 1, nervousness or tension tied to the memory feeling stuck like in the past or still in control of your emotions. And anxiety, like, I find that definition is not so good. My apologies. It's just this feeling of like you can't do anything in a way. You can't get out of this situation. Something's really causes you anxiety. Hey, Ahmed, nice to see you here on YouTube. Welcome. Lingering and festers are more than C1 English words. We are getting better and better. Woohoo, you are. I would not have put those. I should have reviewed this a little bit better. My apologies. But yeah. So Yeah, they're bonus vocabulary words in the vocabulary words. Yeah, it's like hurt feelings. Anxiety is a horrible feeling to feel. It often causes us to lose sleep at night. We can't get out of the circle in the thoughts in our head. It's going very well. Happy to have you here. Okay, so what can you tell me works well with C, with powerlessness? Powerlessness. This could be a German word. It's so long. Powerlessness. Powerlessness. Which the opposite would be, I guess, powerful. I am. I hope you are too. So we had A was 3, B was 1, C. Hello, Aizo-san. Welcome, dear. We have a nice crowd today. We've got some people that are our regulars. Thank you, guys, for always showing up. Some people that were old regulars showing up, and some new people. It's wonderful. Okay, so let's see. Powerlessness. Everyone's going with 2 exactly. So feeling stuck. Like, oh, I think I read the wrong definition. Anxiety. 1. Is nervous tension, tied to the memory of another. And then C, powerlessness, feeling stuck, like the past is still in control of your emotions. I mixed that up. A is 3, lingering anxiety, so anger that festers and grows over time. B was 1, anxiety, nervousness, and tension tied to the memory or of a person involved, or just this nervousness inside. And a really great synonym for anxiety is nervousness or feeling nervous. Then C, powerlessness, as everyone has said, is C, or 2, that is, feeling stuck, like in the past, and it's out of your control. And last but not least, bitterness. One of the worst ones, I think, because I don't know how you get out of that stage. That's a really tough one. For a sour outlook or cynicism that extends beyond the original pain. I think my goal is to try not to feel bitter about anything. It's hard though. Some situations really make you, they push you. Anyway, okay, so those are our vocabulary words with a couple of extra vocabulary words. And let's remove this for a second. I just want to remind everyone who's here, we've got 26 folks here. That's so awesome. If you don't already follow me, you can find my account right here. English with Jen, 123. And then the challenge, my exercise for you, my homework challenge for you, not right now, come back later on when I've saved this, write in the comments in a day, in 2 days, in an hour, whatever. And here are, take the high road, which we've already had, bitterness, and later on we will have closure. And I want to do this now every week, that I give you an opportunity to just highlight a couple of words that I think are ones that are interesting ones to use and to know, and to give you the opportunity to use them later on in the comments section in a sentence. You can either turn it into a little mini story, you can take one word, you can take all 3, as you like, but just to give you a chance to do a little homework, I will then review it and comment on it later on. If you don't already follow my account, it's floating right there. Right there, you cannot miss it. Okay, anyway, so that's your homework for this week, and I'll see how you like it. If you hate this, then you do, and I won't do it anymore. But I thought it was kind of a fun thing to do, just to kind of get people, interested in it. Take the high road as a way to fight bitterness. That's true. That's true, because at least you're being true to yourself. I like that, Alessio. I like that a lot. All right, so here's another brainstorming exercise, and kind of similar to the other one that we did earlier, but a bit different, okay? Oops, let's see, I think it's here. So why do people struggle to forgive? Why do people struggle to forgive? What is it that stops people? So not the situation, not cheating, not lying, not any of those, but what stops people? Because we had something earlier, like with being able to forgive, not today, but forgiving someone is actually something that's more for you in a way, right? Because you let go, you get rid of that nonsense, and people don't have power over you. But what are some reasons why some people find it difficult to forgive. And I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out today because this is a very deep and kind of tough topic in a way. So awesome, guys, for everyone hanging in there. This is really practicing your English in a wonderful way. So yeah, I'm curious to hear. I have a list again of 8 things. And and I'm going to highlight the ones that you mentioned, and let's see how many that you get that are on my list. Let's see. Pride, absolutely, right? Pride is probably number 1. Definitely pride. And in this case, so I can be proud of something, Marcia, but we feel pride. We feel pride, and I am proud of something. Associate with weakness. Yeah, right? Like some people feel that if they forgive them, they're being weak. I think they're being weak to themselves personally, but okay. Sometimes they can be proud. Exactly, pride. Exactly, Marcia. One reason maybe is the ego. Absolutely, ego. The pain is still fresh. That's actually my first one. It hurts too much. The pain is still fresh. Alessio, you said earlier that when people don't say they're sorry, that might be something where someone's like, I'm not forgiving them. They didn't say sorry. That could be another reason. So pride, not saying sorry. Any other reasons? Depends on your point of view. Most people don't forgive. Most people don't forgive. That's going to be our next thing in just a minute. Ooh, Iso-san, my next one as well. Trust. They're afraid it will happen again. How can you forgive if you don't trust the person and you're afraid it's going to happen again? Trust, definitely. So let's see. What else can you tell me? Let me look at my list. I think also with the pain is still fresh, someone's just not ready. Sometimes you need time to be able to feel forgiveness. So they're just not ready. Justice, maybe they want justice somehow. Or financial issues, maybe. They can feel that the person on the other end doesn't understand them. They don't get it, right? They don't really understand what they did to them. Totally. And here's one that I think is really interesting, and I think this can apply to a lot of people. Sometimes there's comfort in being mad at someone. I know it sounds strange, but like staying angry feels better because as you've been angry for so long, you've not forgiven them for so long. If something goes on for a long period of time, sometimes we feel like it's just part of us not to forgive, which is not a good thing. I'm not giving an excuse, but I think there are people that feel that way, that they can't go back and reflect, and time has passed. And do I understand more where they're coming from? Can I forgive? Some people just hold on to the pain because it feels comfortable, because there are no painkillers for mental pain. Ooh, yeah, right. Yuki, that's a good one. Definitely. All right. So I think these are really good reasons. Thank you guys very much for this amazing brainstorming exercise. You did a super job. And I have another brainstorming. We have a lot of brainstorming, and then we'll have a slide. Because I think it's an interesting question. How do you know? Muhammad brought up the point. Most people don't really forgive, right? And Aizu-san, you're writing, forgive but never forget. Right? So how do we know? Let's brainstorm a quick moment for just a moment here with, how do we know that we have actually forgiven someone? Because there are definitely things. I have a list as well, believe it or not. Let's see. That is me. Okay, so I'm sorry, darling Kiki. Desire for revenge. Yes. They love being victims. That's also a reason, definitely. Yeah, you get a lot of attention maybe from someone, and it's better than in this case to be a victim. And then everyone's like, oh, you poor thing, that happened to you. So yeah, I mean, these are not healthy things, but they are things. In Italy, especially between siblings, it's difficult to forgive. No one can take the high road. I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder why with siblings. Specifically, it is more comfortable for the victims. Sometimes it is, right? Sometimes being in your pain, being in your bitterness and your negativity is more comfortable. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. But some people feel that way. So question, How do you know you have really forgiven? Like, what are some things? I have a list of 7 things. So let's do a quick brainstorm, and then I will share my slide with you. And yeah, because I'm curious to see what you have to say. How do you know? I mean, surely you've had a moment before, remove, that where you have felt like you have forgiven someone. How did you know that you had actually forgiven them? What was the sign that you had? So let's see. Let me try to pull up my image here. And let's see. Okay. When you feel good and people are in peace. Yes, okay, exactly. You don't have resentment anymore. Let go of what happened, freedom. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, these are all the kind of things that I was looking for. Let's see, that makes that bigger. Let me get rid of my banner. Yeah, exactly. Right? These are things that you can actually feel it in your body, like the weight lifts off your shoulders. Some other ones with some nice vocabulary words. Emotional neutrality. I will repeat that word. So neutral, you can be neutral, you can feel neutral, you have neutrality, emotional neutrality, and you're at peace. Just like we had someone say earlier, you have no bitterness anymore when you don't care about them anymore, right? You don't care who they're dating, what they're doing. It's done. You don't care. You're at peace. The second point, reduced need for revenge or justice. You don't care about revenge, getting back at them. You don't care about getting what should have been yours in a way. When I don't have bad feelings. Yeah, exactly. So feeling this emotional neutrality and peace. I think this is a good one. This shows me that my little emotional baggage, that I'm not there yet. Like actually everything on this list basically, is the ability to recall, so to talk about again, the event without emotional, or to think about the event without feeling, the ability to recall the event without emotional overwhelm. That doesn't make sense. Without feeling like strong, let's say in this case, without feeling strong emotions. So you could tell about the situation, and you could talk about it. This person did this to me. They did that. They did this. But there's not the emotion there. He did this to me. And can you believe, right? So when you can talk about it in a neutral way, you know also you have forgiven someone. You have a good feeling, right? The willingness to wish, I missed one, empathy and understanding. Maybe you can see from their point of view a bit of why they did that. Maybe even if it's like, they had a bad childhood and they don't know any better. Or maybe there was some role that you played in that situation where you can see it on that sort of level. The willingness to wish them well. Like, I never want them in my life again, but I hope that they live a fine life. I hope they're fine. Let's see. So, Mohammed, how do you know if my wife forgiveness without asking her if I'm married? I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean. All right. And then number 6, letting go of the role of victim. We had that earlier, why some people cannot forgive. Sometimes the role of playing the victim feels better than actually forgiving someone. I would like to put into practice the third point, the ability to recall the event without an overwhelming, like feeling overwhelmed emotionally. This is wording on this is very strange. Sorry about that. Me too. I would love to feel emotional neutrality. I don't really feel, in my situation, for revenge and justice, not so much, but to recall the event, not feel overwhelmed, have empathy and understanding, willingness to wish them well, let go of the role of victim. I don't really feel like a victim, but okay. And freedom from rehashing. Rehashing is a great vocab word. If you talk about something again and again and again and again, you rehash it. And us ladies, we typically like to do this. We get together with our friends and we tell that story because quite often, and I'm not trying to be gender biased here, whatever, please, we're in the 21st century, I know, but come on, ladies, right? Get together with our friends and we have to tell the story again and again. You see someone new and you have to tell that story. That is rehashing, and that doesn't help us to move on. Like if we can go meet up with a friend and not feel the need to tell the story again, that is typically healthier, clearly, right? All right, so let's see. Let's move on to a nice little trivia question. And I'm so happy to have all of you here. We have such a great turnout today. Do you think being neutral is the same as being indifferent? Yeah, I do, kind of. Yeah, indifferent, neutral, because it's both coming from a place of sort of not caring. It depends on the situation. In this situation, indifference when you really don't care, and neutral is like either way. So indifferent is usually stronger, more into like you're indifferent, you really don't care. And neutral, it's not either way. You know what I mean? I'm stepping in a landmine here. As far as feelings go, for my feelings, if I felt different towards my ex-husband or neutral, I would take either of those. That really, seriously, because then you're at this place of peace. In this case, but if I feel indifferent towards my children, that's not such a good feeling so much, maybe. If I'm indifferent towards what they're doing with their lives, not a good thing. If I'm neutral, that's better. This is a good example. Now I'm on board here. If I'm neutral, that's being a healthy parent to a certain extent, because it's their life. It's not my life. They need to do what they want to do. I should be more of a neutral parent and not an indifferent parent, because an indifferent parent doesn't care. And a neutral parent is allowing their child to fall on their face when they need to, or to have victories that are theirs and not because I was there to show up and make things good. I hope that helps. So punishment is another word for revenge. In a way, yeah, you get revenge through punishment. So the more you loved and trusted that person, the harder it makes difficult to forgive. Yes. And I think also, like for me, things happen in life, right? I mean, people hurt us, we hurt people, no one's perfect. But the way you handle it afterwards is very important. And I think that then if somebody handles it like an adult, with respect and with dignity, and comes and talks to you and says, I've done this, or I don't feel this, or whatever it is that later on you might need to forgive. If somebody handles that in a situation with class and with dignity, it's a different thing. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen a lot. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, we need to vent. Ooh, I love this. Okay, hold on. Thank you, Leticia, darling. So vent. Vent is when you just let it all out. You rehash, right? And you vent. You get all of those negative feelings out. Vent. It's a super word. I love it. Thank you, dear, for sharing that one. Okay. So let's see. We're heading to a trivia question. I'm going to pull that up for us right this second. And let me remove this and add our trivia question. I hope I have it labeled. And I don't. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta just see if this is it. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's number 2. Let's see. Maybe I miswrote it. Otherwise, we're just going to jump the gun here. I think that's actually okay. I think we're good. All right. I think this is fine. So let me pull up. Hold on. Oops. I need to move this. Hold on. Let me move that over there. I have all these little slide things. That's not right. That's right. There we go. Okay. So trivia question. Here we go. What is the most common reason people struggle to forgive? Is it a lack of apology? So when you're missing something, then you lack something. You can lack time. You can lack money. So you're missing money. You're missing time. You're lacking an apology means you're missing an apology. Somebody's saying they're sorry, but how? I want to vent too, but I can't. Yes, you can. I think we should vent. But I think that, like, I know for myself, I vented way too long I rehash the story way too much. And at the end of the day, I would be very happy if I didn't feel the need, that I could just tell the story very like, very at peace, and then just walk away from it. For me personally, I would love that. So you can say all of those. So fear of getting hurt again, C, lack of understanding. Okay. So Karina, A, B from Lorena. Brigitte, cool, you're still here. B, Alessio, B. So yeah, I think the answer should be fear of getting hurt again. But as Yuki said, and as Michaela said, whatever works for you with this, fear of getting hurt again. Yeah, I think that's really, I think for me, like the fear of getting hurt again, like I can forgive, but I can't forget, right? Because that fear of getting hurt again is always there. Yeah, I think we need like a D. I think we need a D on here. Does anybody have a D they can add? I would think like being lied to and thrown under the bus. That I would put under there. If you're thrown under the bus, that means that someone didn't protect you. They did quite the opposite. They just threw you to the lions. Deal with your life. I don't really care. So yeah. Hello to you, Adam. Hi. I'm sure, Jen, that you'd like to sing, and I can imagine you have a beautiful voice, so feel free to sing to us. Oh my gosh. I should read this louder because my partner and everyone in my family thinks that I have the worst singing voice ever. So yeah, you're hilarious. Okay, so Brigitte, but I'm still here, but struggling with the connection today. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Forgive, but don't forget. Yeah, because yeah, I think that's the same for me. Okay, a lot of people are saying B. This one, there is supposed to be an answer, but I think that's silly to have an answer. Whatever one works best for you. If you have another one you want to add to this, then go ahead and add it as well. All right, so let's remove this, and we have another little brainstorming exercise, because I'm trying to do this in a way today because I am clearly not a therapist or psychologist or anything like that, but just to talk about things and learn English in sort of an adult type of way, where we share experiences, we share kind of how we can work through things. So when, like a lot of people said, the fear of having something done to them again. So to minimize fear in general, maybe if we have antennae on our heads like a little insect. And if we tune those in so we know when people are doing something bad, then maybe, just maybe we can relax on the whole thing with if they do it again, because we will be able to pick up on it and then react accordingly. D, being seen by other people as a weak person for forgiving someone. Ooh, good one. Okay. Yes. I think some of us are in relationships where we do forgive a partner and we are seen as weak, but we know, you're in that relationship and you see other things, other aspects, and that's tough. Yep, I hear you. Good D. Very, very good, solid D. All right, so let's brainstorm this. Let's see. We are on brainstorming 5. And here it is, okay? So to minimize our fear, because everybody is saying forgiving someone takes a lot of power, courage, resilience, strength, because we fear being hurt again. So what are some signs that someone is doing you wrong? Okay, someone's doing something bad to you. I've got 9 signs here. I'm going to screenshot them. I'm going to give us 3 minutes to come up with a list. How we know, let's turn on our little detective brains and try to figure out how we know if someone is not playing it straight here. So let's see, 3 minutes. Oops, here we go. And I'm curious to hear what all you get from my list as well. Let me pull up that picture and let's see what you have to say. Oh, you're fine. I didn't even notice. Sorry. What is the meaning of a weak person? So a weak person is someone who's not strong. It can be either physically, like they have no muscles, or it can be inside emotionally. If you let people walk all over you, they can do anything with you, then you might be a weak person. And sometimes it can be seen as emotionally weak if we forgive people who have done bad things to us. So that is what Leticia meant. Okay, so let's see. Let me grab my little markers. Ooh, there we go. And so let's see. Things that we can do, things that we can look for when we want to make sure someone they're on the up and up. They're on the straight and narrow. 5, being secretive. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so they're being secretive. Okay. Secretive, very good. Yeah, like every time you walk in the room and they're on their phone, they turn it over. Manipulating. Okay, good. Let's see. Manipulative behavior. Okay. Anything else? So we have twice. We have manipulative behavior, being secretive, being sneaky, like, they do things behind your back kind of thing. Unreliable. Okay. So being unreliable, you think they're going to be there, they're toxic, that's great. So you feel drained, you feel tired after being around them. Definite sign. Anything else that you can say? They lie, they break your trust again and again. I thought it was one of the expressions that I hate because I'll never remember. Envy. Okay, so when they express envy or they have envy, yeah, like I think a sign of like jealousy is often a sign of someone doing something wrong. Totally. Like if they constantly say, oh, you're checking out that other person, and they're constantly jealous of you, then it could be that's because they're up to something. So I love that. I think that's so important. And the difference between envy and jealousy is jealousy, actually, envy is when I want something that someone else has. And jealousy is when you are afraid of losing something. Jealousy. Yes, I'll write it. Oops. Okay, that's our timer. I was like, what is that? Let's see. Jealousy. There we go. I'll pop it up here for us. Disrespecting boundaries, being fake. If someone doesn't look you straight in the eyes, ooh, yeah, that's a really good sign that someone is doing you wrong, because they don't want to be caught. So they try to do other things. When you are frequently criticized, for sure, you can do nothing right. I can't pull up. For some reason, I can't scroll up again, and I've missed some comments. Here we go. Dishonesty. Okay, that was that. Okay. Yeah. So great, guys. Super. A couple of other things. When you feel like you're walking on eggshells. So I guess that would be also when you're frequently criticized. So when you feel like you're walking on eggshells, you walk very carefully because you're afraid that everything that you do is going to come back to you, like something bad is going to happen. So you tiptoe, you walk on eggshells around a person because you don't want to be blamed for anything or criticized. Somebody acts like everything is your fault. You don't feel safe. You've come up with great ones. Let's move on. So let's see here. Okay, so our last banner, hold on. I think our last banner for today. No, it's not. Sorry. All right, so let me get rid of jealousy. Such an ugly, horrible feeling. Let's get rid of that word. Let's see. So our next brainstorming number 6. Here we go. Oh, hold on. There. Okay. So number 6, do you agree with this? When one door closes, another door opens. So this is kind of a little bit going into this vein a little bit, because We often fear, losing something, and that adds to sometimes our lack of ability to forgive. Maybe you have a situation that you can share with me about when you lost something, you lost someone, something ended in some sort of way. Do you believe in this, that something better is out there for you or not? What can you tell me? I definitely believe in this. I definitely, 100%. One door closes, another door opens. Just gotta, sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes that door is really stuck. So you have to wait a while. You need to sometimes kick that door down. No, but I definitely think that when one door closes, another door opens. So yes, 100%. Of course, tomorrow will be another day. Yes, it will. It will. It will be another day. Hey, Renee, dear, welcome on board. Yeah, I believe that is true, at least in my case. For me too. I've never experienced it differently. You have to have some faith. It might take some time, but typically one door opens, closes, another door opens, and also the part of processing it, letting go, forgiving. And then I find that things then happen also in a better way. Yes. Okay. Everyone agrees. That's kind of a no-brainer question, I guess. All right. So earlier we covered some words for emotions that we feel when we choose or when we don't decide to forgive someone. But let's talk about some words that we feel when we do forgive someone. So let's think of a time when we have forgiven someone in our life, and you forgave someone. What did you feel? Yes, even if no door opens, my soul will be free. Exactly. Get rid of that nonsense. Goodbye. Okay, so yeah, so hello, Sakura, darling. Yes, exactly that. You agree, Marcia? Okay, Heda. Yes, I totally agree with that. And in this case, sweetie, you would say I totally agree, or I am in total agreement. So just scratch that am. I totally agree. I want to believe this saying to be to the young ones. There are plenty of men, women around in the world, so you can find Mr. or Mrs. Right. Okay. All right. So let's see. So yeah. So my question to you, or actually no question. Sorry. Let me get rid of this banner here and pull up another slide for us. Let's see. With some vocabulary words. Maybe my question was emotions you felt when you forgave someone. I'm curious to see if you get some of these. Oh, definitely you will get some of them. I don't know if you'll get all of them. Let's see. All right, so let me remove this from the studio, add another slide. We've got 4 new vocabulary words, maybe new. So let's see. I think that's it. Yes, it is. Okay, and let me find vocabulary. Doop. And let's see. There we go. Oh, that's tiny. That's no good. Let's see if that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So let's see. Freedom, lightness. Yeah, freedom, feeling light. Yes. There are no right words without down. Without down? I'm not sure. There's no right word without down. I'm not sure, sweetie, what that means. Okay, so freedom, lightness, other words that have come up with us, relief. Like, and relief is like what you feel when the weight of the world is lifted from your shoulders. And forgiving people, you feel it does more for you. It lets you travel light in the world, travel lightly, get rid of that junk. Compassion, love it. On our list, exactly. Empowerment and closure. I'm curious how many of these words are new. Maybe you can let me know. So number 1, relief. 2, empowerment. 3, compassion. 4, closure. Here are our definitions. We have A, gaining strength from letting go and taking back emotional control. B, feeling free and emotionally lighter, like a weight has lifted. C, understanding the other person's flaws. So a flaw is like a mistake, something that's not good, or pain, even if they hurt you. And D, mentally and emotionally ready to move on from what happened. Okay? So, which one works best with number one with relief? With relief. Which one works best with that? What can you tell me? Relief. Number one, relief. I have frozen. Aha. Okay, thank you, Sakura. So, all right, thank you, Lorena and Marcia. Okay, so everybody's guessing B, and you're correct. Okay, so relief, feeling light and emotionally lighter, like a weight has lifted. Exactly, Karina. Exactly, Yuki. So wonderful to feel that. You forgive someone and you feel like you have lost weight. It's the best diet ever. Number two, empowerment. Exactly. All you folks writing in B's, you're absolutely 100% correct. Super job. Now we have number two, empowerment. What can you tell me about empowerment? Which one works best? Number one was B. I guess Yuki means after a night, there will always be a dawn. Sorry, a dawn. D-A-W-N. I read O, meaning after you close the door, you open another door somehow. Am I right? Thank you. I think you're probably right. I read down, D-O-W-N, but I think I just don't see well. So sorry about that, Yuki. Yes, beautiful. Exactly. There's always another day. There's always a new dawn. All right, super. We have most people saying two is A and Mohammed saying C. Number two, empowerment is A, gaining strength from letting go and taking back emotional control. So I know that the thing that I have problem forgiving, it's controlling me. And that's the worst feeling, right? That feels so like it makes me feel like this because I just don't want to care. I want to be indifferent. I want to be neutral. And this thing has power over me. I don't feel empowered. I feel powerless in the situation. And I want to be over this. I want to gain strength, let go, and take back of my emotional control. Thank you, Yuki. Sorry, I think I misread what you wrote. My apologies, sweetie. So three, compassion. Okay, compassion's a wonderful thing. Compassion can be a real power word to have, a really great quality to have, compassion, especially if you don't like people take control over you. So Karina's saying C, Lorena's saying C. Okay. And y'all are correct for sure. C, exactly, Ali, compassion. So C, understanding the other person's flaws or pain, even if they hurt you. And sometimes one of the best ways to forgive someone is to have compassion. When you understand that they are just emotionally bankrupt, they have nothing inside of them, they can't do better, that things have happened to them that have broken them. If you can have compassion, maybe sometimes it's easier to forgive. Not to forget, but to forgive and to move on. Maybe that's a way. And last but not least is a word that a lot of people use, actually with death, which I think is crazy. But number four, closure. Last but not least is D, mentally and emotionally ready to move on from what happened. So I definitely want closure. I want to not, it's okay, not big. Thank you, Yuki, sorry. So I definitely want to move on and to not, feel, I want to have that neutral basis from the thing that I am having problems forgiving, and to have closure. I would love that. A lot of people use this in English when it comes to death, that when my dad dies, that I want to feel closure. For me personally, I think you don't feel, I don't feel closure. From all the people I've lost in my life, I miss them all every single day. There is no closure. I think for death, it's one of those things where some days are worse, some days are better, for me, I do not feel closure. I don't want to feel closure. I want to remember them. I want to not feel indifferent. I want to feel something somehow. All right. So then last but not least, this is something with therapy, I presume. And I hope that I have a banner for this. Okay. No, yes. So sorry. All right, here we go. Our second to last banner of the day. It's been a very big banner day. Let's see. So these are some really great vocab words. What are the 4 R's of forgiveness? So there are 4 words. They all start with R, and these are the ways, the things that you can do, feel, that can help you to get over your pain, to forgive someone in that sense. Maybe not get over the pain, but to forgive someone else. And maybe I will just write them because some of these are kind of difficult. But I think that they're interesting. This must be from psychology. So 3 was C. Yes, exactly. Yes, Leticia. Remember, that's a nice R word. Yeah, let's do like a couple of minutes of just trying to throw in R words that we think are part of them. Yeah, let's do that, Security. Remorse. Ooh, ding, 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 ding. You got it. Alicia, very cool. So remorse is when you feel bad about something. So in order to be able to be forgiven, you probably need to feel remorse for what you did. You need to feel bad for what you did. Release. Ooh, I like that. It's not on the list, but Hitoka, love it. Definitely. So far, our guesses have been remember, remorse, release. I'm going to pop up remorse, renewal on our list. Absolutely. So we've got that one. So remorse, when you feel bad about someone, and renewal is when you experience something and then you learn from it. So renewal, love it. Renewal, you grow from it. It's something new that happens. Responsibility. Oh my gosh, super, Alessio. You've gotten 2 out of the 4 so far. Responsibility. Accept what has happened and show yourself compassion. And I guess a lot of these are more like for our own forgiveness, right? To feel responsibility. I did this. It sucked. It was not very good. But I'm gonna show myself some compassion. I'm only human. Compassion would be a good one, but it's a C word. Restoration is also our word. I will get right to it. Remorse, use guilt and remorse as a gateway to positive behavior change. I don't want to feel this way anymore. You can guilt yourself a little bit into it. Restoration. So our word from Renit, let me pop it into our program here. To make amends, you restore something, you fix something that is broken. You restore it. You make amends with whomever you're forgiving, even if it's yourself. You try to find peace. You try to fix it. And restart is a super guess. Super Hitoko. You're really, really good. Unfortunately, it wasn't the one that I was looking for. The other one is renewal. Learn from the experience and grow as a person. Healing also super, super. This started with an R for sure. Compassion, healing, all of these are super words. Okay. And last but not least, kind of a little fun one. Let's see. I'm going to pop that one off the screen. Here we go. Okay. Last banner of the day, last question of the day. So there we go. What does it mean to carry emotional baggage? What does to carry emotional baggage mean? What on earth? Have you ever heard that expression? And what does that mean? Accept responsibility. Accept. ACCEPT. Exactly. Reproductive. Okay. Redemption. Ooh, I like that too. Y'all have a lot of great R words. Very, very good ones. Recover. Also a great word. Forgiveness is a journey for sure. Some days it works well, and sometimes you take 2 steps forward. Sometimes you take 6 back. Personal emotional history. Yeah. Secure. That's a very great way of describing that. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to decide to try to define it or explain it? I remember the first time I heard this phrase. It was a comedian, actually, kind of a comedian. type of guy. And he was talking about emotional baggage. And it was really interesting because I had never heard that term before. And yeah, and it was just new word. Okay, cool. So emotional baggage, if you think about it, like baggage as in like in a suitcase, that you carry things around inside of you. You have your mom didn't buy you ice cream when you were 10 years old, but she bought ice cream for your sister. You have all of these things. You didn't get the job that you wanted. The guy that you had a crush on in high school broke up with you. Lots of things. We have all this stuff that might not be processed. We're not cool with it, right? And so you have this emotional stuff that you carry inside of you. And baggage is another word for like a suitcase in a way. And it's the stuff that you have inside of a suitcase. It's your baggage. And so we carry these things around with us until we heal them, until we choose or we get therapy or we just forget about it. I don't know. Until we can deal with it, then we carry these things around in us. And so the things that hurt us emotionally, these are called our emotional baggage. This is emotional baggage. And we carry around emotional baggage. Be brave, control feeling, unfixed negative experiences that we bring with us, right? And I love that you bring with us, because every relationship that we enter, whether it be parent-child or with a new boss or a relationship, a romantic relationship, we have these things inside of us that are our emotional baggage. So things that hurt us or have hurt us in the past and that we've not forgiven. It all comes from the stuff that we have not forgiven. So the less of that stuff, the less emotional baggage we have, the lighter we travel in life, the better, actually, for us. For us individually, to live with your unresolved experiences. Exactly. The unresolved negative experiences is your emotional baggage. It's your negative thoughts and your negative experiences. Thanks, guys. Super, super well defined. Thank you so very much. Just to remind you, you have a little homework this week. And if you like this, I will continue to do it. And if you don't, then okay, I won't. But this is your homework. So you have here, so when we save this live stream, think about it. We've covered today lots of stuff, but for example, we've covered bitterness, closure, and to take the high road. And if you want, you can turn these into a little story, so you can write them in the comments saved on YouTube, or you can write a sentence trying to practice the word. Everyone struggles with remembering these things. Everyone struggles or worries whether they're using these things correctly. So it can be your opportunity to try things out if you like. My little homework assignment, let me know how you like it or ignore it, and then I will know too. Yes, negative. I think I'm carrying the biggest bag. Oh, Yuki, I hope you're not, sweetie. I hope not. I don't wish that for you at all. You're so sweet. So I hope you had a fun time with me. It's kind of a heavy lesson again. Sorry about that. The topic for the movie was pretty heavy, but I felt like this kind of worked very well together. Next week, we will talk about survival skills, which sounds very heavy too. But I will try to make it fun. A lot of brainstorming, a lot of fun things. I'm glad you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for so many of you showing up today and sticking around the whole time. It's very, very cool. I love having you all here. I'm super grateful that you spend time with me on a regular basis. And yeah, look forward to seeing you soon. Just as a reminder, I will go live tomorrow morning at about 12 p.m. Central European time with Mike. We'll cover 3 different sort of news topics, very light stuff. I swear it's light. And and just sort of a fun chit chat kind of way. Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you, Karina. Thank you very much, Marcia. Thank you, Hitoko. Have a good day to you. Thank you, Marcia. So are you. Thank you for your class. Thank you, Lorena. Thank you, Sakura. So guys, take care. I wish you a wonderful day. Maybe see you tomorrow. If not, maybe you catch the replay. Remember your homework assignment or forget it, whatever, as you like. Take care. Bye.